Hey everybody, and welcome to Adobe Live. My name is Flynn and I am joined by Jeremy Mura, and we're very excited to be here today. We'd like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land in which we are streaming and creating from today, and pay our respects to elders past, present and emerging. Jeremy, since Tuesday, what have you been up to? How you been?
Hey man, doing well. Good to see you again. But yeah, been designing, cracking away, got plenty of projects I'm working on, and yeah, trying to enjoy the sun as well. It's been decent weather here in Sydney, so yeah, it's awesome, man.
It's been not too bad, has it? But it's great to have you back. We've got a couple of things that I just wanted to mention at the top of the stream. Something I'm very excited about is Adobe Max is now live. So if you're not familiar with Adobe Max, big global conference that Adobe is doing in October. I've been working on this since February, so it seems kind of crazy that it's like finally now out. It's free, completely free again this year. So you can jump in there, you can register now, you can have a look at the speakers that have already been announced, and there's going to be lots more speakers to come. Let's play some music. Just a little bit of a sneak peek at who's coming up. Just heaps of speakers on there, but Jeremy and I were chatting about going through this. Casey Neistat stuck out to you, I think.
Yeah, Aaron Draplin.
Aaron Draplin, the man. If you're loving what we're doing in Illustrator on Tuesday's stream and today, then you would love Aaron Draplin. Check it out. My friend Jesus Ramirez is on there as well. He's he's a streamer all the time. I think he streamed earlier today, actually on Adobe Live. He's amazing. He knows everything about Photoshop. I feel like he knows more about Photoshop than full-time Adobe people do, and had a couple of drinks with him, and I think he might agree. Yeah, just tons of people out there. Lauren Hom, amazing. David Carson, incredible. Mark Heaps as well. Yeah, there's tons of people there. Heaps more to be announced. And because we are in, yes it has. Huh? Johanna telling me the stream hasn't kicked in yet, but I think it has. But I'm going to be a little bit sneaky, and I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a preview of the Asia Pacific speakers, because we have lots of people from here. This isn't live yet, so I didn't ask any permission if I could do this. But there's some faces that you might know from here, like Frankie TT has done some streams here on Behance before. Gloxton as well, fantastic. Craig Medman and Carl Miller. So Craig and Carl. So again, if you're into illustrated work, check out their work. Incredible stuff, and loads of people from our neck of the woods. My buddy Josie Young, Alice Lee, who does doodle therapy, is on Behance, is there. So anyway, there's heaps of stuff, right? And yeah, I'm just super excited that it's up, and I want you guys to all check it out, and I hope that it's something for everyone there.
Sounds exciting, man. I think it's going to be a cracker.
Yeah, I think it will. Lots of very, very talented people there. But speaking of talented people, we're here with Jeremy Mura. We're continuing on from our stream on Tuesday. Sweet segue, hey? Yeah, barbershop. The Pharaoh, Egypt-based barbershop. And I'm going to stop talking and let's get cracking into it. But where did you end up? Should I share your screen? Should we jump in?
Yeah, let's jump in, man.
Let's do it. Here we are looking at this. Wow, so you've done quite a lot of exploration here with the pharaohs, the face, the logo there.
Yeah, so basically, a quick recap. So basically we started here, and we started with the pharaoh, and then basically started to refine it slowly with the little details, adding the scissors. I shortened it because with the logo we don't want it to be too long or too wide. So I made it more tighter, as you can see here. Cleaned the shapes up. And then eventually landed on this version here with one flat background and then one like this. And now we're going to add some color, add some details. I also started to play around with the typography as well. So started off with this, and then you can see started playing around with different lockups here, adding a little bit of pyramid shapes, adding a couple little slits there just to give it some more breadth and space. And this is what it's looking at the moment. So nice and tight, fits really well. You can use it in horizontal, vertical, and started playing around with maybe add bit of a tagline or slogan or something. But this is where I landed, and we're gonna start to build off this.
Nice. I like the pyramid in the type there. I like the little cutback you've done to give it a bit of depth, a little bit of shading. It's very subtle, but when you zoomed out a lot, it adds like a 3D, a bit of depth to it, which is really nice.
Yeah, it looks better than just the flat. It gives that extra detail. Cool. All right, awesome. So let's start to play around with some color. So a few of my favorite sites I love using, obviously Adobe Color is awesome. And I like going on here because there's just such a variety, like so many different colors. So if I go type in like Egypt or something, probably get like sand colors and stuff and browns and things like that. So really when I look for colors, I always try and look for contrast, and I try and look for one vibrant like core color, especially for like digital brands. I always like having that one bright color, and then having contrast like either dark tones to contrast with different colors. So typically I'll look through here, and if I find some stuff that I like, for example, I like this one with the maroon color, and even that navy is kind of cool. So obviously I can add it to my library, or I can download it as a JPEG. I'll just quickly download it as a JPEG, and then what I'll do, drag and drop it into Illustrator real quick. And then what I like to do is just quickly make some shapes, and hold Alt and Shift, and then Command D. And then I'll just do this.
It's nice. I do the same thing here.
Yeah, it's just super fast. So use the eyedropper tool to get the shapes, then bring my swatches panel up, select all these shapes, and then click the folder. Then what I do is I tick on Convert to Global Process, and then I'll just type colors or whatever, and then OK. And now in my swatches panel, you can see I've got all those global colors ready to rock and roll.
Nice. Yeah. So just added them as a group. So rather than like creating one each time, you can just add them all as one group into one folder. That's very cool.
Yeah, so it's super handy trick, just to quickly add it in. So that's Adobe Color. Another one is colorhunt.co. Now this one has been around for a while, so I can search by new or popular, which is cool. So it's got some of the filters on the left, but I can scroll through here, and if I see anything I like, basically what I'll do is I'll take a screenshot, or you can left click and it'll give you the hex codes. So maybe I want this one. I'll take a quick screenshot, drop it in like this, and then once again do the same thing. Eyedropper tool, and then click the folder and convert that.
Nice, I like that. Hey, what was your screenshotting thing there that you used to take a screenshot? Because you're PC, right?
Yes, I'm actually using Snagit.
Okay, cool.
Basically, it comes with the editor as well, so I can edit and take screenshots and stuff.
Nice.
So, yeah, just press print screen. You can capture like full screen, window, whatever. So it's really easy. Just press one button. So
I like it. As a PC user, that was just a very selfish, like, hey, I like how quickly you did that. That was very Mac-like. Quick screenshot, and
the tools.
I gotta know the new tools, man.
100%, man. Happy to share. And one last site that I go for color is Colorleap.app, and I'm gonna use a color palette from here. You can see here, it's just a site that's curated palettes from different time zones. So you can see 2000 BC. I'm gonna click that one, and it's actually extracted some colors from some images. So from this Pharaoh tomb, got some colors here. This one is a nice palette as well, some gold, dark, and then we've got like this nice brown color. So I can click see colors and just like do this, and that will show me like all.
It's an interesting approach to like supplying colors, like doing it through the ages.
Yeah, and like you can go check different ages, and it will show you like 1960s. So it extracts from some images. It's just a cool little nifty site. I really like it. So I'll just quickly take one of these palettes, and hopefully this is useful, like giving some people some ideas on how to get some colors and stuff. Yeah.
No, I think it's something that comes up all the time. Like, is where do you get your colors from? At what stage of the project do you start thinking about color? Like, how do you think about presenting color to a client as well? Like, do you present multiple palettes, or do you experiment yourself and then present one color palette? Like, are you up for revisions? All sorts of stuff. I think color is like such a difficult one, because the answer's always never straightforward, right? Like, it's quite subjective, and it'll depend on the client, and it'll depend on all sorts of other factors.
100%, man. There's a lot of factors there, and it can be very subjective, right? That's why you always got to try and be objective and be like, it relates to our audience. This is our target audience, so we should focus on there. But I usually try and start playing with colors when the main design is done, like the logo, and like the typography and stuff, and then start exploring colors, because once you start diving into color, you know, you start getting lost in that. And you want to make sure that the core design and shapes and everything is solid in black and white. But then in a client presentation, usually I'll show like black and white, and then also the colored version as well.
Right.
Just to show them like this is what it looks like in black and white, so you can see it's very clear, etc. Being practical and stuff. Cool. So I'm just gonna duplicate here. I'm gonna start playing around. Obviously the text is still live. Typically when I play with text, I love adding a dark tone or a dark color instead of just leaving it black. So for example, you can see we've got like this really like brown color, or this one as well, which kind of looks cool. And then what I'd like to do is go to my color guide, and you can go monochromatic. Another cool trick is you can search by, you know, vivid, muted, or shades. And then I can go like a darker shade. And obviously that's black, but I can make it just a little bit of a brownie color. Just makes it a little bit different.
Nice. So you never use like absolute black. Always a bit of color in there of some kind.
Yeah. It depends. Like a lot of the times I will have logos that use black, but I try and add like just a different tone. And then you want to make sure that you add that new color into your palette, and then I'll drag it down there. So you can see that in the swatches there. I could probably go large so you guys can see.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I've got heaps of palettes there I play around with, but that's cool. And then what I want to do, like maybe for the slogan, I can just make it a little bit of a lighter color. Could be gray, maybe one of these colors. So I'm typically just gonna play around with that. And even this, maybe I could do that. I don't know. It's kind of interesting.
You know, talking about color, Siobhan in chat, impressive. Me, old school. I still have Pantone color book sitting next to me. Nice. They're expensive, if I remember.
Oh, they are, man. They very much are.
It's like a expensive relic from a time.
Yeah, everything's digital these days. Like even me, I don't own a Pantone book right now. So
yeah,
because everything's online and digital social media, so it's like, yeah.
I think that's really cool though. You got to hang on to that Pantone color book though.
Yeah, it becomes, you need it for like print and stuff. It becomes useful, practical. Sure, that is a plus. Cool. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna start playing around with some colors. I'm just gonna make sure that's plussed. And then, so what I like to do is I'll just play around with some of these palettes, and then like maybe explore some of the other palettes first, as long as I get the basic stuff done, like the basic shapes. So I'm just going through here, plussing things. Maybe I want that black.
And nice. I should mention as well, we got live chat happening here. So if you're watching over on YouTube or something like that, jump over to behance.net/live if you want to say hello, or if you have any questions while we're going along. We'd love to hear from you. I like the tagline, ancient vibes, modern cuts. Where did that come from?
I just made it up.
Yeah, I like it.
So yeah, usually with taglines, what I'll do, I'll jump into Notion and write a whole bunch of different copy, a whole bunch of different lines and stuff, just to explore. That's how I do copywriting, just experimentation. But yeah, just try and keep it very short, very simple and snappy, and not too literal. But yeah, I just thought of like Egypt and like ancient, because it's got the ancient vibes, or ancient times I could have put, and then modern cuts, because it's all about like getting haircuts, stuff like that.
Nice.
So cool. So basically, I'm gonna start to play around with this. Another cool trick as well as I like to do is like add a background, and then see how that's working. You can see like negative space there, and then obviously I got to play around with like a light version. Maybe I just want the sand version. So it's all about like just experimenting and try and get the vibe going. Another cool trick I love to do as well is what I'll do. I'll select everything and I'll go to my color guide. And then what I'll do is I click the color wheel. So if you can see that, I'll click edit. And then basically I'll select one of these other palettes and it's gonna start to extract different colors there from these other palettes, as you can see.
Nice.
So then it gives me different options. And then I can, like, you know, click this button here and it basically swaps everything around. So it will swap the colors around, so I can start to see what type of styles I can get. And that's just another cool trick that I like using.
Yeah, like nice and quick. You can just very quickly kind of look at different kind of combos.
Yeah, very quickly. Even that one's pretty cool. Let's go with this.
And talking about the writing before, Johanna in chat said, this is why I love design so much. You can just make up stuff and it works. Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
It's true. It's a big part of it, isn't it? Like just getting down and writing, or just getting down and drawing, or just getting down and experimenting with color, and just moving. Eventually you'll get there. Sometimes it's straight away, isn't it? And then you keep experimenting. You're like, no, what I did at the beginning was actually really great. And other times it can take you a long time to actually crack it.
Yeah, sometimes you hit it on the first go, and then other times it just takes a bit longer.
Do you ever restrict the amount of time, like, or is it just always based on how much time you have on the project? Or are you like, no, I'm going to spend an hour on this bit and another hour on that bit?
I just sort of let creativity flow. I don't want to sort of spend too much. Obviously, I don't want to spend too much time. When I feel like something is solid and I got a strong reason for it, then I'll just stick with that.
Yeah.
But sometimes there's gonna be a point where it's like, okay, no, I got to stop here because I'm gonna spend too much time. I got to work on, you still got to do mock-ups and a whole bunch of other stuff,
Mm.
So as you can see, playing around, once again, contrast. So we don't want everything to be black because, it might just look like it's too overwhelming, hard to read. So contrast is always one of the keys that I like to play with. And that's why I like having multiple palettes. Yeah.
Nice.
What if we did a blue one?
Here's a question from chat. What would you say is your favorite part of the design process?
Oh, good question. Favorite part of the design process? I think just exploring in Illustrator and just mixing and matching shapes, and just playing around, like that the process of creating nothing, like making something from like a white empty space and just getting to play around with stuff. I think that's my favorite part. But then also I'd say like playing around in Photoshop, doing mock-ups or creating like, cool effects. That I love doing that stuff. Like anything that's sort of a mix between the art and the creativity and the design. I think that's my favorite process of the project usually. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I definitely love the shape building process. Like just being an Illustrator and just going down one whole rabbit hole of like, can I make this work? Is there an interesting shape here? Trying to discover like something unique, and then going, yeah, that's not working, and then just going back and then like going down some other rabbit hole.
Yeah.
I find that lots of fun.
Yeah, 100%.
It's got almost an Obey Giant kind of thing to the face.
Yeah, it does, eh? So you
Like
can
it.
see here, like, you got to make sure that the right shapes are the right color, because you can see here when it's very dark, it's hard to tell what type of face it is. Like it looks different to having this backdrop as like the light. So I prefer like the lighter versions. Even this one is a nice one here. Yeah. This is the blue. Adobe version. Copy paste.
And have you outlined the text here? You have, yeah.
Yeah, I did. So type and then Shift Control O. That's because it gets annoying with the selections and it gets in the way and stuff.
Yeah.
Like when I'm trying to select stuff. So if I'm trying to select the slogan, it's just like in the way.
Yeah.
So obviously the only outline when you feel like that's your final concept or whatever. I didn't know if you want me to show them how I did the type, but yeah.
I think we covered the type in the previous stream, so that's cool.
Yeah. Alright, let's try one with the other palette, and then we'll start to. I want to make sure that we've got a bit of time for maybe doing a mock-up or two.
Cool. Well, we've got math is hard. 33 minutes left.
Okay, cool. Math is hard.
Be precise.
Math isn't my jam either.
I used to have a little clock. We used to stream. We used to have a little clock.
Yeah.
I used to try to time it, and it was awfully inaccurate because I had to minus the time that was happening every time I reset the little clock. So I got rid of it. Yeah, every now and then I'd be off by 10 minutes. People are like, "It's 10 minutes left of the stream. What's going on?" And I'm like, "No, I'm bad at math."
Hurry up, bro. Hurry up.
Johanna's banning songs. Don't like this one? Okay.
She's banning songs.
Yeah.
Solid.
There's just too much. What was the crime here? The snare. The snare was too distracting. We're just saying before, Jeremy and I was just saying it's quite hard to get the music right because it's like a tiny little bit between okay, cool, it's nice and relaxing in the background to wow, I can't even hear you guys talk. What is going on? Turn the music down. It's obnoxious. So I find it very hard to get that balance right.
Yeah, 100%. All right, which one? What's the audience digging? Anyone digging a particular color palette?
Yeah, let us know. Let us know in chat. While we wait for an answer. See what people are thinking. I think the lighter ones probably gravitate towards, personally. I think that one top right, yeah, the one that you're over now, I think that's probably for me. Interested to hear what chat has to say. What does our resident music critic Johanna think? Let's see.
It's probably harsh. It's crap. Everyone's got different tastes.
That's it.
What if I made this one white? White is very harsh.
Julian chat likes the orange. Yep, Johanna, I'm leaning towards earthier tones for sure. Cool, good to know.
Cool.
Does that mesh with you as well? Is that where you were thinking? Jeremy, sorry?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I'm just digging those vibes. And I think it appeals to both male and female as well. Whereas the blues are probably more in the darker tones.
Yeah.
I think the contrast is nice on that one as well.
Nice. I got a question from Peter. How many options do you present to a client?
Usually I present 2 concepts. Sometimes I do 3, but typically 2 I feel like is a nice balance
Yeah.
Because you got to do mock-ups, you got to do presentation. It's a lot of work, a lot of time. So if the budget, depending on the budget and time and stuff, yeah, usually 2, sometimes 3. I know people who do the one concept approach. They'll just do one. But obviously, like, you've done heaps of concepts, but you're just showing them the best solution for the client. So yeah, personally, to me, 2 or 3. I know some other brands that they present like around 6 to 10, 15 concepts. But yeah, it's better to put a lot of effort into one concept, and then instead of like 20 mediocre concepts.
Right. Julie says, I liked it when you had the face the same color as the background.
Oh, really? Like, cool. Oh, she likes the negative space like this.
Ah, right. Yeah, that is pretty cool.
But you can still see the face. Obviously, there's some shapes here, and the ears are a bit... That's alright. Cool. So I think I'm digging this one. And then... Wait, 3. Once you start adding more colors, it starts getting like complicated. Yeah, I think I'm digging this one. I think this is probably the best one.
Yeah, nice.
Alright, cool.
Good amalgamation of what chat was thinking too, I think.
Yeah, 100%. Alright, so this is our logo, and now what we can do is start to create some social images for like Instagram, or you can do a mock-up. So I'm just going to turn that off. Wait, first I should... Let me just group everything together. Sometimes I'll make like a new file or whatever, but you can just use it in here. So I'll just go 1080 by 1080. And you can think of a grid. And I was also working on a little pattern here before. I got some inspiration from one of these eyes. I basically traced it, sort of like got this little pattern going. And what you can actually do is go to Object, Pattern, Make.
Nice.
And yeah, and you can obviously create a bit of a pattern here. You can play around with that. Or I can just make something really simple. I think that's one of the things that I like about Illustrator as well.
Yeah, this pattern maker is really cool. Used to be quite a long process to try to create a pattern that would repeat accurately. But
Photoshop, it would be hard.
Yeah. Question from Julie, just around the colors. How many colors or shades do you generally use in a logo?
So typically I would use up to 3. When it comes to other, like usually I'll have a one core color, and then sometimes I'll have secondary or tertiary colors that I add. From this one's a bit more of a creative logo, but I try and keep it very simple. Sometimes I'll have like a gradient depending if it's more of a tech company. But I think 2 to 3 is the sweet spot. But yeah, that's typically what I do.
Cool.
But you can break the rules. So
yeah.
So yeah. Can also make a pattern with this. And the pyramids. Let me just grab the pyramids I had before. Use the same color, like maybe the orange. Actually, I want the lighter version. And then maybe I'll get these ones. And obviously I can easily just go and like make a pattern, or sometimes what you can do, you can make a square and you know, and place things, and you just got to make sure that it's all, if you overlap stuff, you have to make sure that it's on the other side.
And this is to create a pattern?
Yeah. So you want to make a box. This is like a manual way of doing it. So I'll make a box like 400, 400, and then what you want to do, so for example, I'll have that scissors there. I'll make it smaller, and then you'll go transform, move, and because I know it's 400, I'm gonna type 400 in the horizontal. Then I'll make a copy, and so you can see it moves here.
Right.
So, for example, anything in the middle will be all right. So if I just want to do that. Oh.
Johanna says, goodness me, Jeremy, you're so quick. Do you have any top tips to speed up your workflow? Yeah, this came up yesterday, just how quickly you're dancing around Illustrator.
Learn all your shortcuts. Learn all your shortcuts, make keyboard shortcuts as well. So the more you use it, the more you memorize and get better, right? So what other tips do I have for you? Try and add keyboard shortcuts to all your F keys on your keyboard. So utilize your F keys. I also own a Stream Deck as well, so sometimes I have an extra little it's called a Stream Deck from Elgato, and I use that sometimes.
I got one of those for the stream, for the actual stream.
Yeah.
Are we? This little guy.
But the main movements I use is like hold spacebar and left click to move, using Alt to just and dragging to duplicate. You know, holding Alt and Shift, scaling, just things like that. And that's how I move really fast, because time is of the essence, you know. Because the faster you do things, the profitability will increase, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so with this pattern, I'm just going to get rid of this stroke, right? And then I'm going to select all this, and what you can do is drag it and drop it into your swatches. I should have I should have added some more details.
I was curious about why the second half down the bottom was empty.
Like,
I was like, where's he going with this? This is something I don't know.
Yeah, sometimes I'm just like, have to remember. Okay, cool. Okay, let's leave it like that. Okay, and then you will turn the stroke off, select all this, drag it into your swatches panel, and now, and then you have to double click on the swatch, and it'll take you into the patterns. And then I'm gonna type the box is 400 by 400 pixels, so you want to change the width to the 400, and then now you can see the grid is gonna overlap properly, like exactly. Because sometimes this is how you make a seamless pattern that overlaps. Because sometimes if you do it, things don't really overlap. You can just do the normal, like make a pattern and do object pattern, but this is another way just to like make it perfect. And so now,
that's cool. So now that you have that in there, you can just apply it to any vector shape and it'll apply that infinite pattern.
Yeah, basically.
Cool.
So if I go, see how I did that? So I duplicated it, and now you can see it's actually seamless. See?
Nice.
So hopefully that's a cool trick.
Nice.
That's how you make a seamless pattern.
Very cool.
Cool. So now we can basically use that. For example, background. I'm just going to first I just want to make a color box. So I'll press M, and so a cool trick, guys, what you can actually do is Control C. Cool shortcut is Control Shift Alt V.
What?
It basically duplicates anything on all artboards. So you
Interesting.
Control C, then you go Control Shift Alt V, copy and paste to all artboards, just like that. Another cool trick is just Control C, and then I select the artboard and press Control F.
Nice.
And it pastes in front. So that's another cool shortcut that you should know.
Yeah, applying to all artboards. That's new to me. That's awesome. I like that a lot.
Yeah, when I found that one out, I was like, wow, this is amazing. Sometimes Illustrator glitches and it shows like white lines. Just ignore that.
Happens a little bit when you're zooming in and out, doesn't it? And you think, oh no, is it inaccurate? And then you zoom in and you realize it's perfect.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Alright, cool. I'm gonna go to my color and just drop the brightness, because I don't want to. I could use this color, but I just want to do a light color, light version, and then I'll do. And obviously the I'll do the stacked version. Looks better on. So this can be for Instagram. And then what I can do, make a box, go to my swatch panel, click the pattern. And then what I like to do is go to multiply. And then drop the opacity down.
Nice.
Oh. And then that's how we sort of get that cool effect. And I can always double click on my swatch back on the pattern if I want to edit things. So, you know, I can move anything in the middle is like you can move it around. It's all right. See, multiply. So basically, that color that I'm using, the cream color, is now it looks like it's around this one.
Nice. Because of the multiply, because it picks up from the color in front or behind it, or
exactly. So that's the color, and then when it's over the background color, it multiplies.
Very cool.
And so if I just change the background, it's gonna take effect. Give it a grade. Obviously, just with other colors, it might not look good, but you just got to make sure. You can always go back and change it. And then if it's... So I'm just bringing them to the front. Obviously, this version, I'll double click, and I'll make probably that white like this.
That's pretty cool. You're just like making different color changes on the fly because you've got got your color palette over there.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm a bit different. Yeah, for now it's just faster, you know, just to do it like that.
Yeah.
And sometimes I don't know if you like, for me, like the colors look good and stuff and the opacity, but on other people's screens it might not look the same. So
yeah, it is interesting with that, isn't it? That we often forget that like people are, you know, have completely different screens. You might have like an HD PC screen or something. Someone else is on like a 4K, you know, 4K monitor. Someone else is like looking at it on the phone, and the colors actually can be quite different.
100%. All right, so what I want to do now is try and find some pictures. So what I like to go, everyone knows Unsplash, one of the good ones. So I'll go to Unsplash. Like even that would be cool to Photoshop that out. But I'm just gonna find some pictures. Zoom out, Control minus. So I just typed in Barber Arabic. That looks pretty cool. Download that one. Drop it in my downloads folder. That one looks pretty cool. And obviously, when you have more time, you want to curate images and pick the right ones for the vibe, the brand. For this brand, the brief was like more geared towards males,
right?
Barbers.
And we got about 15 minutes left, just to let you know.
Okay.
I would love a haircut.
Oh man, I have to resort. I think I'm gonna have to resort to my wife cutting my hair because I'm just. This morning it was sticking up, man. It's bad. I got to do videos. You know, I got to look fresh.
Yeah, yeah. I need to do something about this mop. Got these curls. Curls are coming down now.
Yeah.
It's out of control.
It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. All right, cool. Now what I'm gonna do? My downloads folder. And typically, it's not like usually I'll go into Photoshop, but I love using Illustrator. It's easy. I'll just drag and drop the images in here. I'm just gonna press Control 2 to lock the background layers. And then what I like to do is I'll press M, make a clipping mask. Right, so that's the clipping mask. I'm gonna scale the image up, holding Alt and Shift. Select these two, and then I put F1 to my clipping mask, or it's Control 7. Press the direct section tool, and then I'll go inside here.
That's cool. So you've just got the shortcuts to create a clipping mask. You've got that mapped because you use it all the time.
Yeah. Instead of pressing Control 7 and moving my right hand off, I can just go left hand, F1, boom.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that.
And then what I'll do, because I want some more contrast, I'll select like one of the darker browns we have and go multiply. And then that's sort of how I get a color there. Or you can go overlay, or even color sometimes, like this. Right?
Yeah, that looks pretty cool.
What I'll do is, you know, get the logo here, and I'm probably gonna need the light version actually. And for this one, I'm just gonna get the type here. So I'll put it in the. So I'm trying to find white space. So maybe bring this up a little bit, and then put it in the corner here.
Yeah, it's really cool. Like it makes it seem instantly, that one on the left with the actual photo in the barber, like instantly makes it feel real. Like it, like rather than the logo by itself. It's amazing like how much that can add to it, and you can just kind of show it in practice. This is how it would look.
Yeah, 100%. And that's what you want to do when you're showing to the clients. You want to make it feel real and like, you know, make it practical. It's all about like showing context.
Yeah. And hey, yeah, so since we have like 12 minutes left, if anybody has any questions before we do finish up, throw them in. Now's your chance.
What I'm gonna do, I'm just going to. Whoops, I don't know where that went. I'm just gonna copy the same text for this font. I'm using the TT Norms, just a simple font. And I'll like type the website. So let's just go. I could do barbersofbog.com. Barbers of Giza, right?
Bog.
So I can actually bog. Probably doesn't sound good, but I'll probably type it out. Barbers of Giza.
You do Barbers OG as well.
There we go. OG, original gangster.
Yeah.
That's good. It works.
Exactly.
Oh man.
Hey, there was another question here from Julie. Thanks for the question, Julie. Do you always bring your images into Illustrator? As I always use InDesign for this to get a smaller file size.
Really? Yeah. I favor Illustrator over all the programs. To be honest. But yeah, for me, I just work really fast, and obviously I've got like Astute graphic plugins I use sometimes as well. So Astute graphics are all these plugins, and then I use the tools. But yeah, I typically bring photos in here. It's just faster to make Instagram, LinkedIn, and graphics like that. I could go to Photoshop, but working with like typography and moving stuff in Photoshop is really it's slower.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I love using Illustrator. And also, obviously, I've got a good PC, so it can like, some computers can't really handle it for some people.
Yeah. Yep, that's true.
So yeah, just my opinion, but yeah.
Very cool. Well, thanks for the question, Julie. Peter's saying it's very cool. Tuesday Shape Maker, Thursday's multiplayer. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's it. So I'm gonna quickly jump into Photoshop real quick. I've got some textures here from one of my mock-up packs. You can see a whole bunch of things. I like just adding texture, adding realism. This one looks like a bit of like sand or board. I'm gonna drop that in. I already have just a size 3000 by 2000, just high res. So there was some text there, but that was from the mock-up. Just delete that. And what I'm gonna do now is drop some items in. So typically what I like to do is I'll go to bridge. So I'm in bridge. I'll locate one of the folders I want. I'll filter by Photoshop, and you can see I've got a whole like bunch of stuff here that I can add. Hopefully you guys can see that. I'll double click, it'll load up in Photoshop. And then what I can actually do is sometimes you'll get mock-ups that are not named. This one's good because it's actually all named, which is great.
Right.
So what I can actually do is just left click, drag the folder in, and I'm just going to drop it in like this and start to like make a scene.
Making a scene. I like it. It was interesting before when you were, before we went live, Jeremy was showing me his Bridge libraries and everything. It was interesting because I was asking him, why do you use Bridge? But because there's so many mock-ups and everything, you can actually preview it and filter things like a lot faster. Is that right?
Yep, 100%.
Yeah, because I haven't used Bridge in years, but that actually makes heaps of sense. Like if you have so many mock-ups, like big textures, like really big files, like, and you know, being able to really quickly navigate it, not by like file name and folders on Dropbox or something crazy like that, which is probably what I would do. I think
like you can see here, for example, I've got like over 500 Photoshop files.
Yeah, wow.
Like I can just keep scrolling and just it goes and goes and goes. And so that's why you want to make sure that you're doing that, you know?
What's your storage system?
Oh, so I've got a lot. I've got 4 hard drives. I got three SSDs, and then I got one big hard drive, 4 terabyte for my videos and photos.
Wow.
And my mock-ups are on a 2 terabyte hard drive as well.
Right.
Or 1 terabyte. So just one. I have one just for mock-ups.
You have a whole SSD just for
legit.
mock-ups. Wow.
Like if I go PC, crazy. You can see. Where is it? Okay, here. So I got so this is 1 terabyte SSD. So it's fast for mockups. It's almost full. Look, 900 gig.
Oh my gosh.
And obviously it's got mockups, but it's got other stuff files on there as well.
Right.
Then I've got one SSD just for like programs, and then I got one for games, and then videos are 4 terabyte. I could put myself there.
Wow. Okay. Thought my PC was a beast, but you put it to shame.
Put an iPhone no hair trimmer. So just adding some realism here. Obviously, I probably should play around with the scale and stuff. Like the comb is like smaller. Background's a bit big. A bit too. So you can see I just like going between Photoshop and Illustrator. So I'll just select that brownie color at the back and then decrease the texture. I'm gonna select the light version. So we don't want the texture too much.
cool. So they come with like a drop shadow and everything on there as well. But if you wanted to get rid of the drop shadow, you could.
Yeah, literally just like one button, you can turn it off. So for example, I zoom in here and then you can see on the layers panel, just turn on and off.
Nice.
And that's why I like just getting pre-made mockups, just makes it like heaps easy and simple. Then what I can do, just like save this, excuse me, as JPEG. I'll drop the percentage by 50% so the file's not too big. It makes it smaller as well. Then I'll just drop it in downloads folder. Go to my downloads folder. Drop it into Illustrator. Clipping mask.
Nice.
Hopefully I wasn't doing it too fast, but
Well, we've only got 2 minutes left anyway, so
Right,
definitely
cool.
the quick version. It's good that you're so quick because you can get through so much.
yeah. That's awesome. I'm glad. All right, cool. So I got some images. I can press Control Shift E. I got a shortcut for exporting the assets. You can also go File and Export, and then basically I can just export all of this. You can go to Live, Data Design, drop it in here. I'll save it as a PNG or a JPEG is fine. Export, and then quickly go to my files. And then we have all our images that are ready for Instagram.
Nice. Very cool and super quick.
Yeah. So yeah, that's how I create a logo, a bit of patterns, bit of social images, and yeah, with mockups you can go crazy with mockups, but yeah, wish we had more time, but yeah.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. Yeah, we covered a lot in the 2 sessions, and yeah, definitely if you enjoyed this one, check out the one that we did previously because there was a lot of talking about type and pretty much starting from scratch on this project. So you can see how far you can go in a very short amount of time, particularly if you are very fast like Jeremy is. But yeah, I think like tons of takeaways from hanging out with you. Like definitely showed me a whole bunch of things that I didn't know I could do in Illustrator, and Illustrator's my jam, so that's super cool. I think I have some homework to customize some of my like F buttons or maybe my Stream Deck just to speed some stuff up. I like the clipping mask trick. I think that's really cool. Like just having a single button to make a clipping mask would definitely speed things up. Very cool.
Awesome.
That's great, Jeremy. We are out of time. Got about a minute left before we're done. So where can people find out more about you? Bit of a plug. Where can people find you online? YouTube channel, so they can check out more of your stuff.
Yeah, sure. So you can check me out on YouTube. Just search for Jeremy Mura Design, and I've got heaps of tutorials on Illustrator, a bit of tutorials on Photoshop. You can also find me on Skillshare if you want to go a bit deeper, do some design courses. Just search my name, Jeremy Mura, and you'll find me there. You can also find me on Instagram at the Jeremy Mura, on Twitter, as well. My tag is at the Jeremy Mura. But yeah, those are my main places. Come say hi. Happy to help. If you have any questions, always here to support you and help you grow as a designer.
Oh, legend. Thank you so much. Thanks for hanging out with us. It's been great. Looking forward to having you back on again in the future. I'm sure you'll teach us a lot more. And thanks, chat, for hanging out with us. And there's some links to Jeremy in the episode. If you're watching this on video on demand, it'll be down the bottom on YouTube. Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you, everyone. And we'll see you next time on Adobe Live.
Thanks, man. Thank you, guys.
Bye.